Hey there everyone, it's Joe from Ainsley's Gold Silver Standard Insights, brought to you by goldsilverstandard.com and ainsleyBullion.com.au. It is TA Tuesday, where I take a look at the price of gold, silver, and usually one of the cryptos, but I'm just going to stick with gold and silver today. We are looking at the tradingview.com website. It's priced in US dollars. Look at the bottom right here. That's the current price, $1,651. Let's take a quick look at where we were last week and what we were talking about. Of course, you want to hit the big red subscribe button on YouTube for the weekly analyses and, of course, our weekly specials and everything else, including our macroeconomic educational stuff too. So it really does pay to subscribe. Last week, though, we were at, if you can see the price right here, 1,665, and we were still hovering above what I considered to be a line of support at 1,655. What have we done in the last few days, in the last week? Well, let's pop into the daily time frame and get rid of that. And as you can see right here, we have broken through. So we have seen lower prices. We did make a play for the next resistance level, but it was a failed move, and we have seen a move back down under. So 1,640 is the low so far in the last few days, in the last week. We made a play. I'll pop into the 4-hourly. We made a play to break above, but it was a failed move to hold 1655 as support. So we have seen it come back down to 1,645. I would consider at this stage 1,655 to be a level of resistance we need to break through. And let's take a look at some other indicators. What have we got on the relative strength index? Yeah, okay, so around about 42. It looks like it's tracking higher, so maybe you could see a little bit of a higher move. Actually, maybe possibly breaking above and hitting the 1,000. Move that up there because you can see those levels of support right here and right here. So I'm going to move that up. My new level of resistance is around about $1,660. So moving above there and holding it, I'd be confident that we're going to see some higher prices. At the moment, my bias is to the downside. Let's take a look at the weekly time frame. And as I was talking about last week, the relative strength index, we're in oversold territory, but we have yet to go down into extreme oversold territory. And I think we have some room to move down. Of course, if we just go hog wild and up from here, I'll be very happy to be wrong, but my bias is to the downside. But please understand, that's just my personal bias, and I could be absolutely wrong. And nothing I say here is financial advice. But moving down further, if we do have a further move down, if we move into extreme oversold territory before bouncing back up again, I was saying last week that this level of $1,560 would be the key support level for me personally. And I think that would be the major, that would be for me, it's more likely to be the major bottom than this one all the way down here at 1,350. I am keeping that in place at the moment because it has been a significant level of resistance over time there. But just keep that one in the back of your head. But if we come to this level of 1,560, I would be personally, I'm considering buying some more, and that's just, again, my non-financial advice opinion. So that is gold. I will keep it at there, and of course, if you want to see my targets moving higher or the resistance points we would need to get through for short-term and medium-term levels of resistance, you can hit the pause button. Nothing has changed for me in terms of those resistance levels moving higher. The one thing I will say is if we do have a situation where we break through $1,560 and we continue down lower, there is an interim level which I think we would bounce off before we would possibly go. Really heavy with my lines here, but support and resistance tends to work quite well with technical analysis, and you can see it right here. So back here it was a level of resistance. This is in 2013, and you can see here in 20 that is two levels of support as well. So I'm going to pop it in here at around about $1,450. So I'll chuck that in. So breaking below 1560, next interim target would be 1450, and then you've got that probably not going to happen, but just keep it in mind, 1350 level. Where do you think the price is going in the next week or so? Post a comment below. I really want to hear your opinion. Do you have specific technical indicators that you use that you find to be very helpful? We really want to know about it. So post your comments below and let me know your thoughts. So that is gold. And very quickly onto silver. Let's take a look at where we were last week and what we were talking about. Silver right here. So we were $19.46. As you can see here, this was a resistance level here at the $21.20 mark. We'd come down and we had yet to touch the support of $19.40. What's happened in the last week or so? Well, right down. This is silver. Let's pop it into the into the daily right here. And into the daily, as you can see, we broke all the way through $19.40. It was like hot knife through butter, all the way down. It didn't even really test $18.80 as support, but it did sort of test this level here of $18.90 roughly. It did have a little spike below at $18.10, but I would say that $18.20 mark roughly has acted as support so far, but all the way through. And I was saying last week that if we broke through this mark right here of $18.80, it's more likely, in my opinion, that we are going to see some lower prices in the next days and weeks. So I'm going to stick with that for the moment. Again, I certainly hope to be wrong and that we just sail up from here, but almost like a double bottom right here. So I think we're moving lower. Again, very, very happy to be wrong, and don't take anything I say as financial advice. But let's pop out to the weekly time frame and have a look at the relative strength index. Yeah, it has been ticking up a little bit, but we're still in the slightly oversold territory. So moving down further, if we are, I will stick with my next major level of $16.20. That's if we break through this general area here. An interim level of support. Can I find an interim level of support? Little spike right there. Can you see that? So you see that little spike down to $16.90 and another little spike down to $16.90 roughly. Yeah, look, I will put that in there as another potential level of support, but I think that would be a level of support on the way down to this lower price of $16.20. A little bit further so you can see that and the reasons why. Yep, at that $16.20 mark, a key level of support, in my opinion. Is that the bottom? I don't know. What's your opinion on that? Again, post a comment below and let me know your thoughts. But yes, in my humble opinion, bias to the downside in the next coming week or 2 weeks, 3 weeks roughly. If you disagree, post your comment below. And again, don't take anything I say as financial advice. If we go hog wild, again, just like gold, here are my targets moving higher. None of those resistance levels have changed for me except for, let me have a look, is gold and that is silver. Do you have a request a particular subscriber does? I've had a couple of calls for me to do rhodium. The problem with it is particularly tradingview.com website, but I'll have a look for a chart somewhere else. Hopefully it's as interactive as the tradingview.com website is. But I will get to rhodium for that particular subscriber, and I'll give a shout out to that subscriber. That's the Midnight Gardener. So hey, the Midnight Gardener, welcome to the Ainsley channel. And I will get onto rhodium as soon as I can. But if you have a request for another precious metal or a particular crypto as well, if you're into that, post a comment below and let me know what you would like me to have a look at, and I'll have a look at that. Of course, I want you to subscribe to the channel, youtube.com/Ainsley Bullion. Hit the big red subscribe button for all the stuff I said that we do earlier in the video. So have a great day. And as always, thanks for choosing Ainsley.